I didn't learn anything last night. Green Bay wins in the last several years all look the same. Aaron throws for multiple touchdowns. It's pretty. There's 3 or 4 big splash plays. Their defense really doesn't make anybody that uncomfortable. And then after the game, Aaron Rodgers plays the victim. They're more boxer than UFC fighter. A boxer, can sort of beat you one way. A UFC fighter can wrestle, kick, gouge, do anything. And they feel more boxer than UFC fighter. It's funny. Every time Baltimore wins, all I hear is, well, they're one-dimensional. They don't play from behind. Baltimore can beat you a lot of different ways. They can get physical. They can run. They can eat the clock. They can get into a shootout. Kansas City, they can play fast. They can play physical. Green Bay, they all look the same to me. It's a good team. They'd be like my 5th favorite restaurant. It's not something I wake up in the morning. I couldn't look like, oh my God, I'm going to my favorite restaurant tonight or my 2nd favorite restaurant. It's one of those where my wife goes, they're all booked up. You want to go here? Yeah, that's pretty good. I like that. That's good. That's how Green Bay wins feel for me. I didn't learn anything last night, but again, they were slick. A couple of big plays. Their defense kind of finesse. Doesn't make anybody comfortable. And Aaron, of course, afterwards plays the victim. There are no trolls. Everybody thought Green Bay would win last night. Everybody thought they'd win big. Everybody, including me, thought they would score first. Nobody really thought Detroit would lead at half. They did. Or Detroit would outgain you. They did. Or Detroit would average more per play. They did. Aaron likes Hollywood. Aaron likes the attention. He does a couple of press conferences. Green Bay is boring. He's got nothing else to do, and he's always good in front of a mic. He likes the attention. But when Aaron says, people say a lot of things. No, you said you were 50-50 on retirement. You stood in front of a microphone for 20 minutes ripping your front office. You lost to the Saints by 30, and you said you guys were flat. We just reacted to your comments. There's no trolls. Nobody last night thought Detroit was going to win. I'm as critical of Aaron Rodgers as any media person in the country. And I ripped the Green Bay management this offseason. I said they should have called him on Jordan Love. I thought they were going to win going away. I thought they'd beat the Saints. Aaron loves the attention, and he loves to play the victim. Aaron Rodgers has 1 Super Bowl. Brady's got 7. And there's large swaths of media that will tell you Aaron's better than Tom. I mean, it's amazing. I mean, to suggest Magic is better than Michael Jordan is a no-no. Magic got to 9 finals, 30% more than Michael. Bill Russell won 11, double Michael. But if I suggested that, I'm crazy town. Brady's got 7, Aaron's got 1, and half the media will tell you Aaron's better than Tom. He's not the victim. I like watching him. I like talking about him when he's interesting. I didn't learn a ton last night. I mean, Detroit and Jameis Winston and Jared Goff moved the ball up and down the field on Green Bay. But can we stop with the woe is me, everybody's out to get me, people say crazy things? Crazy things is you saying right before the season, I was 50-50 on quitting. That's crazy. What, are we supposed to not react to it? You were the worst quarterback in the league week 1. What, are we supposed to not react to it? There is a standard for Aaron and the Packers, and Aaron deserves a ton of credit for that. And so we do judge you like Mahomes, like Brady, like Russell Wilson. We don't talk about your wins over Detroit much and give you credit for beating Detroit. You were outgained by Detroit. You're not going to get a lot of credit. Detroit's awful. But, let's just be honest. You like the attention. You love playing the victim. You're not a victim. No great player gets more love and gets argued you're the greatest talent of his generation with fewer championships. If I even suggest Magic's better than Michael, he was to 30 more finals. He won 5. And clickbait. Did you watch Magic? He was unbelievable. Aaron's fine. Boy, he loves playing the victim. So let's talk about somebody who doesn't play the victim, Tom Brady. So it's my entire life. Let's be honest. Soccer is more international. Boxing's more international. Basketball, these are more international than the NFL. NFL's a domestic league. We play it in America in high school. We play it in college. You go to the NFL. The NFL's never really been what you would call a global sport. Now, there's an audience. The NFL wants to make it more popular in Mexico. We have games there. And in Europe, there's a few people in Dusseldorf that like the NFL. But the reality is soccer. When I was a kid growing up, boxing, Ali was the most popular athlete in the world when I was a kid. Muhammad Ali. Michael Jordan was the most popular athlete in the world like 20 years ago. But generally, football players are not global. Peyton Manning and Brett Favre were incredibly popular, especially in the middle of the country. They were doing Oreo commercials and mid-sized car commercials. And, they were just leaning into that middle America, and good for them. Peyton and Brett are about the most popular NFL players in America, even more so than Brady. But Brady now is getting into a weird space, weird being like fascinating, where he's the ninth wonder of the world. And I was thinking about this. There's a stat with Tom Brady that's fascinating. Tom Brady, if you count his regular seasons and his postseason passing touchdowns in his 20s, had 167. He's going to surpass that in his 40s very soon, this year, probably by Thanksgiving. Now, I want you to think about that. That's weird. Between his international wife, his international commercials, his bizarre longevity, LeBron spends millions a year on his body. LeBron is 36, and he's starting to fall apart a little bit. Serena Williams, 39. 39, not the player she was 2 years ago. Same with Federer, 40. Messi is 34 years old, past his peak, past his prime. Still great past his prime. Ronaldo, 36. He's just cashing checks now. He's basically cashing checks. Tom Brady is 44. In the most violent sport of all these. And his release times are faster. He wins more. He wins easier. If you go look at Brady's last 10 games, because remember, he didn't have a preseason, the pandemic. I don't think it's fair to look at the first half of last year. In his last 10 games, 31 touchdowns, 6 picks, 113 passer rating, 304 yards a game, 10-0. And has beaten Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, and Breeze last year in a playoff run. He's becoming the ninth wonder of the world. At 44, I watched him this week. And I watched him in week 1. And my takeaway is he better than he was like 7 years ago? Think about this. His biggest obstacle now isn't his opposition. It's his wife. Whether or not Gisele's going to say, Tommy, pack it in. I've sacrificed a lot for the family. Tommy, pack it in. That's what we think, right? She's going to at some point say, we got the money. Let's spend the rest of our lives together. Belichick, to show you how fascinating Brady is, Belichick drafted Tommy's replacement 7 years ago. The number 1 pick in the draft, Trevor Lawrence, is less than half his age. Tom Brady's doesn't make any sense anymore. None of it makes sense. He's the first NFL guy in my life. And I'm not saying he's as big. Ronaldo's got a zillion Instagram followers, whatever that means. I don't even know if Brad Pitt's on Instagram. But the point is, I'm not trying to make an argument he's the world's biggest superstar in sports. But he's the first NFL guy in my life. Between the international wife, the international commercials, his unfathomable longevity, and his championships, I think he's the first global football player. He's going to throw more touchdowns in his 40s than his 20s. Can you imagine if I said, yeah, Messi, he's way better at 44 than he was at 29. What? I remember Michael Jordan in his mid-30s. He wasn't the same player. A lot of it was fall away. And that's Michael Jordan. LeBron, 36. He doesn't get tackled. LeBron at 36 starting to get hurt all the time. He's moved into a very, very unique international territory. Hi, everybody. Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get the latest from the show. Also, be sure to check out more of the best clips from The Herd or go watch a few segments from other shows on FS1.